in 30 years, I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets. I know so many things I shouldn't know, and
it's not possible to mess with the stand-up maestro Katt Williams and go without repercussions.
I hope none of your dreams come true, when I saw guys.
They already did. Go away.
In addition to being one of the funniest men in the business, he is ruthless and will destroy anyone who gets on his bad side. From Harvey Weinstein to Kevin Hart, here are the many victims of Katt Williams. Let's go. Katt practically called Harvey Weinstein a depraved degenerate.
They canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein before the thing came out, but he offered to suck my in front of all my people at my agency.
This was years before the Me Too movement, when calling out one of the most powerful people in Hollywood would completely end people's careers. Katt at the time wasn't even as successful as he is now, not that it stopped him from giving his unpopular opinion of Weinstein. It wasn't surprising that Katt ended up getting cancelled for trying to tell the world the kind of person Weinstein was. Eventually, it took 10 women's allegations of decades of sexual harassment to expose Weinstein completely.
A court in Los Angeles has sentenced Harvey Weinstein to 16 more years in prison for raping and sexually assaulting a woman in 2013.
Talking about exposing people, one of the major reasons Katt went on Club Shay Shay was to expose his former Friday After Next cast member, Ricky Smiley.
You were originally supposed to play Katt Williams' character. Yes. And Katt Williams was supposed to play my character.
Are you kidding me? You let Ricky Smiley sit here and you said out that mouth, you stole Friday After Next, the one I was in.
Now, mind you, Smiley had previously appeared on Club Shay Shay and claimed that he was supposed to play Katt's iconic character, Money Mike, and Katt was to be the Santa character in the movie. However, according to Katt, Ricky Smiley was lying about the switch in roles. Katt didn't stop there, he went straight for the jugular, saying the only role Ricky Smiley could ever successfully play in his 33 years of comedy was playing the character of a woman, and he only got those because he had Cedric the Entertainer and Steve Harvey on his side.
Why you didn't ask him why has he played a woman in more movies than he's played a man?
Another member of the cast of Friday After Next who got a piece of Katt's fury is Chris Tucker. Katt alleged that Tucker had visited Epstein Island, which was recently exposed to be the place where the rich and the powerful did unspeakable things. Every celebrity in the US has been doing anything they can to distance themselves from anything Epstein. So for Tucker's name to be coldly mentioned by Katt speaks volumes.
And the Chris Tucker that we got now is Epstein Island Chris Tucker, not Smokey.
Left to Katt, the experience at Epstein's Island surely changed Tucker, and the Smokey character everyone loves is no longer there. 2 years ago, Tucker in an interview said he never went to the infamous island, but he did say he had only flown on a private jet with Epstein to do humanitarian work in Africa. And at the time, he didn't know he was, an offender.
We flew Bill Clinton and a lot of different, that was a humanitarian trip to Africa. And I met him on that trip because it was his plane. I didn't know who plane we was getting on, but it was a whole bunch of dignitary people. We was with a delegation. And I met him, and you don't know people, what they do in their private lives. So
this makes you wonder, because there is no way Katt didn't see this interview and he still stood his ground to say what he said. Wanda Smith is another person who definitely knows that Katt says what he wants to say without regard to the person's status. Even if she is the co-host of the Frank and Wanda radio show he had been invited to.
Your hair is kind of...
That joint was...
My hair is 19 inches long and I have no perm.
You don't?
Oops.
The last 3 minutes of the show were pure chaos. And for Wanda, it was hell. Katt was relentless, dropping jokes upon jokes at Wanda's expense, and everyone in the studio, including the co-host, laughed hysterically.
You probably shouldn't talk about sizes.
No, that's okay.
You big on the radio.
That's right. And you're big
Turn
in
it
prison.
down.
And you're
Yes,
big in
ma'am.
prison.
I've never been to prison.
You have
19
several
felonies,
times.
no convictions.
Yeah,
Knock it off. Prison and jail aren't the same. No.
Okay,
No.
Calm
No.
down. Calm down.
Only one of us has
Calm
$12 worth
down.
of jewelry on.
No, $12.
No. That all is available. If you wanna have Wanda's jewelry, please go to Citgo or Quick Trip at any point. If you buy 2 packs of Newport 100s, they will give you everything Wanda has on right now for $7.99, and it comes with a free car wash.
On another show, he described Wanda as someone masquerading as a comedian, and even pointed out that it wasn't the first time she had tried to bring other comedians down with her position. While Wanda got the hate for trying to pull others down, Michael Blackson was roasted for dissing Katt, who had helped him. Katt mentioned that he had advised Blackson on how to turn around his career and get the best from it. If this was the case, then how did their relationship become so bad? Clearly, their beef began a while ago before Katt called Blackson's accent fake.
Look at me! I'm the captain now!
I mean, this is how you end up with a Michael Blackson who's a real African doing a fake African accent. Okay, this guy is mad at me. All I did was give him the best advice of his life.
Back in 2021, Blackson said something about Katt being a drug addict, and Katt wasn't happy about being called a user. The following year, they were on opposite sides of the cast of Wild 'N Out, and it was Blackson who felt offended after Katt threw some shades on his career.
I don't like this.
And he doesn't like you either. Go away.
After the show, Blackson took to X to let fans know how he felt. In his post, he called Katt a midget and even told Katt to fight his 15-year-old son. Now, no one really knows whether calling Katt a midget or telling him to fight his 15-year-old son was how Blackson hoped to end the beef, but obviously, Katt was not impressed and proceeded to let the world know how little he rates Blackson as a comedian and as a person. Another comedian Katt clearly doesn't believe is worth the hype is Tiffany Haddish. Katt had mentioned he loves Tiffany as a person, but it didn't stop him from torching her career.
She's been doing comedy since she was 16. You can't tell me your favorite Tiffany Haddish joke. Why? Because she ain't done a tour yet. She ain't done a special. She has not proven the ability to tell jokes back to back for an hour to nobody.
Katt points out that he understands that she had fought her way to the top of the pile, but according to Katt, she didn't get there without some help from the powers that be in the industry and a huge compromise on her part to get that help. He let the world know that Haddish wasn't a great comedian enough to pass through the stages that every other great comedian has passed through on their way to the hallowed halls of fame. This next situation got so intense, Katt almost punched Cedric in the stomach. Katt told everyone that he had created his iconic joke in 1998 and he was performing it when Cedric heard it for the first time. To his surprise, in 2000, Cedric used the very same joke in the comedy special The Original Kings of Comedy without his permission. This was theft, and when he raised the alarm, he said Cedric and Steve Harvey apologized, and he went ahead to give Cedric a pass as a way of forgiving him. Now, Katt couldn't believe that the same Cedric was going on shows and trying to downplay the fact that he had stolen his iconic joke.
I'm doing this joke, it's on Comic View. Cedric comes to the Comedy Store. He watches me in the audience. He comes backstage. He tells me what a great job I did and how much he loves the joke. 2 years later, he's doing that as his last joke.
Katt was so pissed, he even said if Cedric was in front of him, he would punch him in the stomach.
As I stand before you, Shannon, I would have bust Cedric's stomach.
Steve Harvey, Cedric's friend, was not spared from Katt's anger either. In fact, Katt called him for a number of things, including lying about being broke. Katt also said that Harvey wasn't good enough for stand-up. He wasn't done. He accused Harvey of stealing ideas from another comedian named Mark Curry.
I think we UPS, I guess. I don't know.
And he just told me to tell everybody I was the UPS man.
Katt still dragged Harvey through the mud for being envious of the fact that the late Benny Mac was way funnier and better than him. Katt was definitely not afraid of cutting up any size of fish, and P. Diddy was one of the biggest fishes in the music industry. His issue with Diddy simply revolved around the fact that rumors have been going around about Diddy being gay and all the latest allegations floating around the internet. With no concrete evidence for people to sink their teeth into, everyone was just in limbo until Katt said,
because P. Diddy be wanting to party, and you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did.
But for those of you waiting for evidence, it seems Katt has done his research. He did say he has the receipt for everything he's saying. One of Katt's receipts was the fact that even his friend Martin Lawrence wanted him to wear a dress.
Martin tried to put me in my first dress.
Now imagine Big Mama House sequels with Katt playing a major role, but he just wasn't willing to compromise his integrity by wearing a dress face on screen. This is something even Dave Chappelle has spoken against and said he would never do. Clearly, he and Katt don't subscribe to the idea that black male comedians need to play female characters to be funny. In the spirit of not losing one's integrity in the face of fame, Katt let people know he never cowered in the face of huge offers. However, Ludacris' name popped up, and according to Katt, Ludacris sold his soul to the Illuminati to get a movie deal worth $200 million. Ludacris decided not to just leave that hang in the air, so he responded with a freestyle, which matter of fact didn't go well.
Swaddled in Gucci linens when I was born. Never been Illuminati, only Illuminati, and I only left with bitches.
Even Kang the Conqueror, far away in the Marvel universe, was not far away enough for Katt Williams' jokes, or I should say, pokes. Jonathan Major's viral video of him being chased by a white woman shocked many Marvel fans, and everyone can see how Katt was trying to make a point about interracial relationships, especially when it involves a celebrity. Katt suggested that Jonathan's domestic violence allegations meant he's been cancelled, and Marvel would cut him off so cleanly he wouldn't be allowed to read even a comic book. This Hollywood agenda rabbit hole caused Kevin Hart to catch some major hits from Katt. Granted, they had been at each other's throats for years. This was Kevin Hart dissing Katt Williams some 5 years ago.
My frustration with Katt Williams comes from, you keep pointing at Hollywood. Hollywood this, the white man, this and this.
Hart was on that tirade for almost 3 minutes, so clearly these two were arch enemies. Katt himself has called Hart an industry plant because according to him, no one had ever heard of Hart in the comedy underground scene.
What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words.
Katt has come out to say that most of the jobs Kevin Hart got were initially offered to him, Katt, and they involved him compromising on his integrity, which was why he didn't do them. Well, here fans aren't sure what to think, whether Kevin Hart is just a hardworking man or if what Katt is saying is actually true. Now, what do you guys think? Leave us a comment down there, do share with a friend on Facebook, WhatsApp and X. As usual, my host Murphy, and I'll catch you in the next video. Stay beautiful, stay amazing, stay safe. Peace.
Do you know what the #1 job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen.